Hi guys, I'd like to talk about boyfriends, more specifically how awesome mine has been to me in general. So, if you hate this topic, click away now. If not, then I don't know, I was just thinking today. Some boyfriends really suck. If you guys have been paying attention to my videos or have been a subscriber for a while, then you already know this, but tattoo on my wrist here that I got for my birthday last year is to represent that I will never, ever, ever let a guy touch me the way that I let my first serious boyfriend touch me. He took my virginity, first serious boyfriend, so of course I was 14 years old, all goo goo gaga over this new boyfriend of mine. He turned out to be a pretty huge ass. Yeah, he was not a nice guy. It was a very abusive relationship, and it ended about a week and a half after he raped me. Yeah, the scariest part is it took me another week and a half until I realized it was time to get out. It was very, very bad. I was very unhappy, but I also got, I lost all of my family and friends because this guy manipulated me. He used me, and he used me for sex, and because he has a lot of mental problems. At the time, he had a roommate named CJ, and CJ had just moved out of Malcolm's house, my boyfriend at the time's house. His name was Malcolm, and CJ just moved back into this mall out in Maple Ridge, which is another hour the other way. So hour this way to Malcolm's house, an hour this way to CJ's house. I ended up starting to cheat on Malcolm with CJ and a couple other guys. CJ's the only one that just seemed to want more than sex. He wanted a friendship, and he felt really bad for sleeping with his best friend's girl, so he said, "I'm sorry, I can't be with you anymore." I proceeded to spend the rest of the night crying and not knowing why. I said, "My heart lies with Malcolm. Why am I crying over CJ?" So, yeah, I know this all sounds very LG, but I was in a very, very, very bad mental state at the time. So, long story short, I called up CJ and I said, "Look, well, here's the thing. I don't want to be with Malcolm anymore. So, if you want, you can be with me, or you can stay in that crap friendship. So, there's your choices. I know I'm probably not a strong choice, but if you're interested, I'm here to date." And he said yes, he would like to date me. We ended up getting together just before 420 in 2010, and it was very nice. And he ended up moving away, though, a couple months later, and I realized that summer that he had moved away, I was completely heartbroken. Completely heartbroken. And I didn't know why I had these feelings of I am a terrible, dirty, horrible person inside me, and it turns out because I had forgotten about all the abuse. I had forgotten about all the rape. It was so traumatizing that my brain shoved it back because I was already too unhealthy. If I remembered all that stuff, I wouldn't be alive here today. And it's because my brain forgot about those traumatic events that I'm still here. Because otherwise, that and the fact that I was doing a lot of drugs, having a lot of sex, drinking a lot, that entire summer, trying to balance summer school and not having much of a home life, it was very, very bad. So I realized that summer I was madly in love with CJ, and the following October he moved back from the island where he'd moved to in the first place, and moved in with me, and we've been happily together ever since. And I'm looking at a lot of relationships nowadays. Sorry, I have to respond to a text. This is what sparked the video. A lot of girls say that they're with a guy because they love him, or they're with a guy because he's nice, or they've been with him for so long they don't know what else to do, and I just say that's bullshit. If a guy is treating you bad, you need to get out. There are so many better guys out there. My friend and I are living proof. She was living with a guy for 3 years. He proceeded to cheat on her throughout the entire time. She cheated on him. They fought nonstop. They made each other feel like crap, and they brought each other to the brink of disaster. And you know why? She doesn't have anywhere else to go. She doesn't have another place to stay. She doesn't have friends to go to. She doesn't really have family to go to anymore. But she still stayed. And now she's finally moved on, about to move out, and this guy is such a jerk that he dares to use certain things, like the fact that she hasn't graduated yet, the fact that, she's on welfare, and all these things against her after one point in time he used to say he loved her. Well, taking that example to a worse example, I was at the mall the other day. An old friend of mine noticed me and my friend, and came over and talked to us. She wasn't talking to us for more than 2 minutes before you see her boyfriend barreling down the hallway, grabbing her by the back of her shirt, and dragging her out of the mall, because he didn't want her talking to other people. I find it so hard to comprehend these things, because I am living proof that if you are in a bad position, there's hope to get out. So I just wanted to let you guys know. My boyfriend, after all of that stuff, 2 months into our new relationship, it was mid-November and he moved in October 1st. That November I got all my memories back. I guess my brain was starting to transition to a good place. I was out of drugs and alcohol and drinking. I was getting back into school, and I was madly in love with CJ. I still had a shit home life, and I still had some old drama from the past, but I worked on it, and I moved forward. And the memories came back, and it destroyed me. It completely destroyed me. If I wasn't having nightmares, then I was having flashbacks. I couldn't be kissed certain ways. I couldn't be held certain ways. At one point, my boyfriend was a little bit angry, like, just normal grumpy in the morning thing, and a hairbrush was sitting on the bed. So he ripped the covers off, and the hairbrush went flying and smacked the wall. And the noise was so loud that it sent me back to with Malcolm when he was abusing me. And I freaked out, and all of a sudden, my entire bedroom that I've lived there my entire life, it faded away. And I was back in Malcolm's room, hearing him yell at me and call me really terrible names. And then I woke up, and I saw CJ sitting on the end of the bed, looking petrified for me. So terrified. Because he didn't know what to do, and he didn't know how to help. It turns out he did the best thing he could possibly do. He was there for me. He watched me go through this terrible, terrible thing, not knowing what to do, but he stood by me every step of the way. And now that I'm out of it, I'm out of my psychotic episodes, I'm out of my flashbacks, I'm out of my nightmares, I'm moving on. Only little things bother me about that anymore, and I'm still getting very, very healthy. He stayed through everything, and we had some really great times in there. We're having really great times now. So if that's not proof that whether it happens that fast or it happens a couple years later, you will find someone who doesn't hurt you. You will find someone who deserves to be with you, because I don't know who you are, I don't care who you are or where you're from, you are a good person. If you've been abused by someone who's not a good person, move on. If you abuse people, you need to go get help. It can be controlled. So this is going to be such a long video. I really needed to talk about this, and I thought I would share my thoughts with you guys. But please, the Dolphins, if you like and subscribe, and I want you guys to all to remember, I'm getting it super close in and cup the webcam now, okay? You can survive, and you can get out of it. If I can, you can too. And I'm happy now. Anyways, my boyfriend's gonna be home soon, so I gotta fix the hair and look pretty for him. Bye, guys.